Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good day today. Thank you so much for stopping by to see what we did for Halloween decor in our living room, front entrance, and upstairs. I took out a lot of my favorite California pottery items that are black and gold or just shiny black horsehead bookends and put that together with a lot of orange. It looks pretty dramatic. I decided to put some ghost figurines and votives on our crazy retro shelf this year. So I do have a lot of votives lit around here. It's really hard to know if it would look okay doing it in very dim light or if I need a little more light like this lamp over here. It is evening. It wouldn't look quite as spooky if I filmed this in the daytime when it's very bright in our living room. So I'm trying it like this today. Let's go upstairs first. I'd like to show you the top of the stairs. Then we'll come back to the living room. This year, at the top of the stairs on our fun retro metal shelf, I decided it would be nice if Norm would put his collection. We had them on our crazy shadow box in the living room last year, but I put a bunch of ghosts in there this time, so this is kind of fun. They fit just fine. He used to have a lot more of the bigger Rosbro candy containers. Years ago, I had mentioned that last year in our Halloween video that he decided to sell them because they were getting pretty valuable and he didn't feel he needed to have that fancy collection. He's happy with some of these that a lot of them we've even found thrifting, like these little pop-up pumpkins. They're a little ghost or a cat, and when you open the lid, it pops its head up. And the little wind-up jack-o'-lantern is fun. This is possibly an antique find, though, at an antique mall. You don't see these very often, and he just doesn't want to buy these because they're getting so pricey. But if he does find a really, really good deal, then he'll break down. But we found these candles quite a long time ago. Girly candles are the Scarecrow and the Witch. The Dracula wax figure is an air freshener from 1988, and they made quite a few really cute ones. I never collected them. This is the only one we've ever ended up with. I'm not sure if we found it at a thrift store or not, but it's by Wizard, so you've probably seen them around. They're quite fun. I've seen them in people's collections. They're always cute. They don't smell anymore, so they must have not lasted a real long time. This guy here was a very cute find. Looks like a little, I don't know, is he a pirate? Or just a older guy with a top hat and an eye patch. Here's another one of the little ghost ones. These jack-o'-lanterns have such big eyelashes. They're very fun. Sometimes we found them for $1.50 at these occasional sales, and here's one up here that has a black cat. This is a really little scarecrow. I don't know if that's Rosbro too. It looks more like a cupcake topper. There's a Rosbro one. I just found this cutest lantern for only $3 or $3.99, I'm not sure, at a Halloween pop-up store. I thought that was so cute because it's small and plastic. Pretty fun. Don't have any other battery ones over here. Norm likes these little puppets, push puppets. So these two are nice for Halloween because of their colors. He does have others in the basement in his toy collection that are, like olive oil, I think, and some other characters maybe. When he finds them, if they're real reasonable, he'll get those. This is a fairly new edition. I've never seen this before. I was looking at so many of the Rosbro ones when we were selling them, and I don't recall seeing this cute jack-o'-lantern. It almost looks like a clown top that he's wearing with that ruffle there, and there's a girly candle. Another one of his jack-o'-lanterns. I don't know if this cute blow mold, very small, jack-o'-lantern was that way when it was made with the cute little mesh hat on it, but I've never seen it before. He's very tiny, kind of fun. And there's another one of the real popular scarecrows that has the plaid jacket or checked jacket. Another girly candle, and just another fun thrifted plastic one. Norm is always very thoughtful and will find very fun Halloween cards for me and surprise me. So this one was from a couple Octobers ago, maybe, I don't know, but I save them and like to display them now and then. He's very thoughtful. I hope you enjoyed that. We sure do. Also, at the top of the stairs is our old bookcase that was a gift from Norm's great aunt. That's where I have our radio collection that I have shown in quite a few of our videos. So I did have this old owl TV lamp here last year. I did show in the dark more that his eyes are glowing with a couple of tea lights in there. I would have to turn the light out to let you see that better. I thrifted this very wild looking kind of drip glaze. I don't know if that's kind of a tiki style or what, but it's a pretty neat candle holder that is for different size candles. I couldn't believe I found that at a thrift store. I wonder if it's a hobbyist piece. I really don't know, but I thought it was a pretty fun find. And last year I found this little owl vase. It's very heavy. I did show it in our living room video for fall. Norm thought it was kind of fun that I took out a couple of our beaded doilies. They're a little long, so they hang over the edge. I tried them in different positions, but I guess that's probably about the most fun. Have them show a little bit from downstairs. I wanted to show you our newest purchase that I talked Norm into. Is this really fancy retro clock. It's a lot fancier than the ones we've picked out before. The others have been more starburst and more modern looking in a way. This is maybe was considered a little more traditional. I really thought it was pretty fancy and would be fun to have something different up here. We've had a starburst clock up here for quite a long time, and it did quit working on us. It is battery, but we just haven't taken it in somewhere to see if they could fix it and do a proper job on getting it to work again. But I really like this. I may not put the other one up again. We do have a huge starburst one that's Elgin that's in our living room. Not for the Halloween video, I took it down for that, but we do have one, so I don't have to have two starburst clocks. This one I think is just really neat. And I snuck a shelf up here in the corner. I kind of gotta worry about what Norm thinks when I put a new nail in the wall. I could have put two, one on each side of the shelf, but I thought I'm just gonna try one. So I decided to use a hook that screws into the wall. I hope it holds. I don't want to put anything too heavy on this shelf. I've had these little owls for a long time. They've been in my green owl themed bedroom. I've had this shelf for quite a while. It was in my bathroom, but I recently thrifted a very fun cat clock that's metal, very modern looking. So I put that in there and took this shelf down. So you know me, I don't want to get rid of this shelf. They're too hard to find. This is a nice small one, so I hope it's not too distorted. When you hold the phone sideways, you kind of get a little distortion, I think. I've had these three crazy pumpkins for years. They're very pale, aren't they? They're just silly. But I thought it would be fun to put there, and I just put a crazy starburst mirror up there that I thrifted. So that is what it looks like on that side of the hall. On the other side, I have this large metal retro shelf that I love changing for all the holidays and seasons. So I gathered up my black and orange cats and a few pumpkins. They are so fun when I find them at the thrift stores. Not this big orange one, that was from an antique shop many years ago, but I found this little guy last year and put the rhinestone eyes, or gem, they call them gem stick-on eyes on that one. I put them on the orange cat too because he was so plain. And I found this little guy last year too at the Goodwill. Very heavy. This little guy's looking down. He's so cute when you get the fancy gem eyes in him. I know they're not meant to be eyes, but that's what I use them for. They're just craft gems that maybe people put on cards or things like that. I don't know. And I thrifted those little pumpkins too. You can't put a votive in them. And I don't recall, but I may have bought this from a antique store. He has glass eyes. Very fun one. Lying down, hanging off a shelf, or whatever you want to put them on, top of a radio or something like that. So that is always fun, using them. I just hung up this mirror here. Took me a while to really scrub it up good and use some polishing cloths that you use on furniture. That's what I wipe things down with to give them a little shine and to clean them. It was from my brother's house. It's pretty ornate. I just thought I would put it there for a while. I have just one nail up high that I used to have a bird on this summer, way up there, so if I want to change back to that anytime or put a different mirror here, whatever, it works great. I love changing stuff, so I kind of got to be careful not to put too many nails up, but just keep in mind what I have and what I would like to swap out. Long things or short things. This is the other 3 cats that I found, the 2 black ones thrifting, but not the Hager cat. The Hager cat, as a lot of you know, has a glass eye, green glass eye. I have dimmer lighting here right now. I did not turn on the bright upper ceiling lights. And I put the gem stones on these 2 cats too. I just don't like the cats and dog figurines when I find them. I don't like them without eyes. I just think they're way more fun when you make them look alive and a little classy. I thrifted this pumpkin and it was working. It turns every color. It's just a white one. And this is a large beaded doily in a kind of a pinky orange. It's not showing up pinky orange in this lighting, but it is kind of a crazy one, quite large. I've had that for a very long time. Okay, we're back down in the living room. Let's start with the crazy shapes shadow box that Norm and I really like. We think this is so kooky and fun, but it's really fun to change for all of the holidays with little collectibles like this. I finally got enough ghost figurines. They're all thrifted. Found this one this year. He is a votive, but boy, it's pretty hard to get a candle, one of those battery candles in the back of him, so I didn't do that. I just set one alongside of him. I found this set at Goodwill this year. Such a fun little set. They might have been $1.99 each, but to me they were worth it. They are Taiwan, so they have that duller finish. I found that one last year. This one a couple years prior. And this set last year. So sweet, sleepy ghosts. Really like those. Last year, for both of those, the one on the left is a bell. Very sweet. The ones on the outside are thrifted last year, and this one this year in the middle. It's for a taper candle, but I just popped a little orange votive on top for now, just to get a little more light. Sorry, my couch, my leather couch is squeaking a little because I'm leaning up against it. I'm too short. My arms are reaching out as far as I can. These 2 guys are really cute. I think the one on the left is from this year. And this one is from this year. It's also for a taper candle. And the one on the right is from this year. Yeah, the one is from last year. So I thought that would make a fun display this year to have. Let's try using the flashlight on my camera so you can see some of the colors better. This is one of my favorite little vases, double vase. That is a wall pocket. I'm thinking it is supposed to be a zebra. Very fun. I found that for only $10 a couple years ago. So I brought down 4 pairs of vintage shiny black horsehead bookends. I think 2 pair, maybe 3 pair are more Trojan style, and 1 pair is a little more wild looking horse. There's some of my favorite pottery on both sides. Huge horsehead bookends up there. Really big ones. Norm found this for me just in September. I had one already that's very similar. I was so happy because I had that odd bird that size for many years, and here he came walking up with this and asked if I wanted it, and I knew it would go very well with the one I had that I'll show you over there. He's looking up though by the radio. This one is looking down. This was a new purchase for $24. It's absolutely huge. I didn't add a chain to them. They come with the chain hanging on them. He was from an occasional, monthly sale, the Pink Squirrel in Grantsburg, Wisconsin. So I thought he would be pretty dramatic to have in here when I want to use a lot of black. These birds are very fun. One of my favorite pairs. And that vase is pretty wild. It is lusterware. I just love it. I found it for $14.99 in Minnesota, antique shop. But these birds, I just love them. They have a lot of gold on them. Here's a view without my flashlight on. That might be better. The camera does work very well in dim light, fortunately. These are all thrifted pumpkins everywhere in here. If you see a pumpkin, it was thrifted. A very unusual ewer. E-W-E-R. I just love it. Up there, you can see my collection that I keep looking for. Every year I look for the bigger size ones. Some have lids and some don't. Even if they don't have a lid, like this middle one, darker one, it's still open on the bottom, so it's nice. You can put a votive in there. So they're pretty fun when you line up the whole bunch. That's the first time I've done that, but took a while for me to find all of those pumpkins. Down here we have our vintage log rolling in the fireplace here. I just love that all you have to do is turn on a little remote and start a fire, a vintage fire. Norm really likes it. This is what I have down below. A couple of owls, both thrifted. A really cool pottery one. His eyes are slit open and his wings are. And this guy was thrifted, and I put the jeweled or gemstones in his eyes. And I took my two biggest California pottery floor vases on each side with black twigs in it. And these were very elaborate, frilly, I'd say acrylic, very lacquered, very tall candle holders. I just love them. I got them for only like $2.50 each last year in an antique shop. You can see the pottery better too with the light on. On the other side of the fireplace mantle here, up one shelf, across from the lion, is a Dove TV lamp. I've always loved this piece too. Just love all that gold. It's just so striking, black and gold. And up there, my wild horses. These are also very big bookends. So happy to have those. And I'm turning the light back on again for you to see the pottery up here. I just found this piece and showed it in a thrifting video. It was actually an antiquing trip video in Hutchinson. It was marked $5.99 or $5.95, I forget, but it's very heavy, very thick pottery on the bottom. Really nice. I was thrilled. Very mod, very mid-century. I also found this recently. It does have some gold trim on it. It's very hard to see. It's faint. There's some little bit around the top edges and a little bit on the base. But I loved the shape of it. That was a new find this year. So I added one more black California type black and gold vase over there. And I just thrifted this extremely heavy vase in the corner. It is Italian pottery, and there's a sticker on the bottom. It's pretty valuable from what I found on the internet. I'll have to read the sticker again and put it at the bottom of the video here, but boy is that vase heavy. I can't believe it. And I just knew when I saw that label that I had found something very vintage, very cheap. Beautiful piece. These are two of my favorite black and gold swans. Sorry about the hanging light cord there. Goes up to our very fun lucite lamp, spaghetti light. It's pretty handy way over in the corner here to just be able to reach behind you if you want to read in this chair here. You can just pull that cord, and it was part of it when we bought it. This is the other pair that I believe are Abingdon pottery. They have small ones and larger ones, and I believe these are the larger ones. But I found them at a very good price too. Here is the other bird. It has the neatest shape to its neck. Let's see what it looks like without the flashlight on. The gold walls sure are dramatic. Orangey colored, aren't they? I was thrilled to have another one that matched. Down here is my orange and gold bird that I have shown in the fall decor. It is very marbled, along with a lot of gold on it. This is a duck that I forgot who made it. I was very surprised it was only $6. It's a covered dish. So modern. But yeah, for $6 I thought, oh wow, well that's pretty good. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, and I don't know that it actually had a label on the bottom. Maybe I looked it up. I can't remember, but the chair is in my way right now. But I want to show you what I just found for $6.50. This is so cool. Oh, I was just thrilled. That is called Weeping Gold. It is a square, very square little planter. Normally they're vases like I just showed you up above, or solid gold, no black. But this was so mod, I just couldn't believe it. It's in an antique shop that we just discovered in Cold Spring, Minnesota. It is called Gentler Times, is spelled like the herb thyme. It's a huge mansion, absolutely gorgeous, that we hope to video for you sometime. And I just found this little planter to match one on the other side this year too, just this past month. We love our new old little television set. Satchel Carlson is the brand. We love having it as an addition to our retro decor. I thrifted this pillow a couple of Halloweens ago. It's so soft and so cute. I washed it. My brother gave me, because he knows I love owls, he gave it to both Norm and I, but he offered it to me because he knows I'm owl crazy. This is a very big hand-carved owl that he had for many, many years. I keep forgetting to ask him where he got it and if he even remembered how long ago. I washed him up, and I'm turning the light on now so you can see the beautiful staining that they did on his feathers. And after wiping him down good, I asked Norm if he would spray him well with a coating of Krylon. Well, no, we didn't use Krylon. We used to years ago. This time we used Rust-Oleum clear coat. It really brought out the color. It was very, very dull. But isn't that neat though? See, I like them much better with a shine on them. I'm not very interested in flat, dull wood things. But after I got to thinking we could get them looking shiny and much more colorful. Then I was a lot happier to have him here. He'll end up in my bedroom upstairs, the green bedroom where I have an owl theme up there. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that video. Thank you for watching that. So my brother was happy that I would be glad to have him at our home. He wanted me to take him last year and I didn't, but I did this year and I'm so glad that I did. These were from my brother's house too, I think. The sconces. I have one on each side with a lucite candle in it, and they were gold. So I washed them up really good and had Norm spray paint them with Rust-Oleum 2X. Again, that's what we use all the time. In a gloss. This looks like gloss. It may have been satin. Sometimes the satin turns out pretty glossy, but this may have been gloss. So I thought that would be kind of fun to have one on each side over here. I love putting out twigs all during the fall, and I just purchased 2 twigs of these beads at Hobby Lobby. I knew I would enjoy using them somewhere, and that is a huge thrifted vase that I bought last year for $4 and a smaller one for $3. So much gold on it. Here again, you know I love black and gold, and that is really modern looking. It's the same shape as this bottle here. We found these bottles many years ago. I honestly don't know. I'm sure the one on the left is Blanco. I do not know about this one. It has a bird on it. It's more of a reddish orange, or I should say an orangey red. And this is actually a vase, I believe, because when we bought it, it did not have a stopper in it. I just had this beautiful stopper that sort of fits. I had a beautiful orange glass bottle, and so decorative, and it broke. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking it was a cat that knocked it over. I really don't know, but it was sad to lose that. Now this could be Blanco. It did come with this beautiful big round stopper. It's very textured. All of these bottles we have put in the window alongside our garage wall where Norm does his holiday displays. We put all these fancy bottles out there in the summer months with some lucite grape clusters. It really doesn't get sun on that wall or in that window, so I'm not worried about anything fading. These, like I say, were from long ago, and I didn't pay much for them. Don't know where we found them, but this even was a long, long time ago. And I don't remember who made it, but it is a pretty orange art glass dish, and I do see it in other colors now and then. So that's what I have in the living room window, and during the day when the sun shines through, it is really pretty. It just glows. My large Hager cat is on the floor. Nice kitty. You keep the mice away, okay? Promise. Down here is an older, maybe 60s, 70s, heavy pottery owl lantern. Maybe I can show you his great texture and color. That gives you a better look at what he looks like. I usually take him outside on Halloween night and put a real candle in him. He's got holes in the top for letting the heat out too, and he's quite open in the back. So that is on the bottom of my corner round table. And this crazy fly ashtray from my brother, I thought would be creepy. Up here, another fun, could be hobbyist, owl with the fun plastic orange eyes. I love those big orange eyes. A pumpkin, another Pottery owl vase that I found last year. And I just thrifted this for $3 or $3.99, I can't remember. It is a Hager, heavy Hager candle holder. Isn't that pretty? I thought that was so cool. Yep, I was pretty excited. That was in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. And there's a better look at that owl vase. I decided to put some feathers in them this year. I love those orange plastic eyes. They sure light up a lot better when you put the flashlight on them, don't they? Up above, I brought this home from my brother's house, and he has another one where the bird is more black. I don't know if they are similar birds or not. I was going to hang him up above. It is foil again, some type of art that I'm really not familiar with. There is a certificate on the back. I thought it was pretty neat with the black mat on it. This is the certificate on the back. It says, "This certifies that this photo frame is hand-leafed and antiqued by American craftsmen, and its windows are of precious metal, 24 karat gold or platinum, testified by and signed JB. For these reasons, frames made in this manner increase in value with time." I thought you would like to see this. $29, JCPenney. Well, that's a very, very old sticker. Over here is a picture that I showed last year that we thrifted. So cheap. I do not remember, but it was ridiculous. The frame was brown, and I had Norm spray painted again for me because I just didn't like the old looking brown frame. This looks like somebody took a velvet type material, or velveteen, and they used a marker maybe and grooved the lines with this marker. If that's a proper way to say it, explain it, I don't know, but the artist's name is on the back. And the date. But I just really wanted to share it again in place of our starburst clock. This is what's on the coffee table. Underneath you can see a beautiful dish, California pottery that I won't take out from underneath the glass here, but it does have a beautiful gold trim on it. 3 dish sections. And I thrifted all of these spider votives They're so fun. I had them all out in the front entrance last year. So they're scattered around this time. And a beautiful bittersweet slag glass candy dish. Norm bought me last year and surprised me with that. Now that's my favorite candy. The dark chocolate Kit Kat. Oh, I like that. And over here, he just bought this for me at the treasure shed. Isn't that neat? That's pretty wild. But I like these leaf dishes. Real colorful leaf dishes for under the glass on this big round table. Yep, California, USA. But it really makes the table colorful, doesn't it? I found these two very wild sconces at the thrift store too. I could not believe it. They are so wicked looking with all those sharp points. But I think they're very fun for Halloween. I did show them last year. I think. I'm not positive, but I know I did do a video. You see this smoke over here? I have something very crazy to show you. This is an incense burner. Somebody said on the internet that it was antique. Somebody said it was Chinese. It's brass. It's very heavy. I found it in an antique shop in Minnesota, in the Twin City area. I had a film of Norm taking it down for me. I was pretty excited because I thought it looked extremely wild. I've never seen anything like it. The head is hinged, of course. These are on the internet. You can find quite a few sales of them or auctions. They are asking anywhere from $50 to over $100 for this item. I don't see how there can be such a huge price range, but that can be common. It was only, I don't know if it was, I think it was under $20. I thought it was extremely inexpensive in the store. It needed polishing. I did work very hard on it, but it is weird. And I decided rather than have all my spider votives out here this time, I drug out the craziest dresser scarf that I think I've ever purchased, and it really wasn't a dresser scarf. I will read to you what this is. It is very jeweled and ornate, and it's probably not a great Halloween one, but I had some brass things here, some new brass things to show you, and I'd like your help to identify this crazy animal right here. It doesn't look like a lion. There's no mane. Norm thinks it's a bat because of the big wings, but bats don't have legs like that on the front. It looks like a dog to me with wings. I really don't know, but we found this in a little thrift store in Minnesota, and it is a plant holder, plant stand. That's all I can gather from just looking around at crazy brass winged animals on the internet that were called plant stands. And this came with a clear globe shaped bowl. So yes, you could put a plant in that. It was only $9.99. Norm found it and he thought it was kind of fun for $9.99. It had a small little flea bite on the top edge of the glass bowl, and I tried putting plants in it, but I used beans or bark, and neither one of them looked nice in a glass bowl. So what would you do? What would you put in there? I tried all kinds of my pots, and this is one that fit. That would be fun if you could tell me what you think. I have 2 of these, one on each side. They were originally a gift to Norm's mother many years ago, back in the 60s. I know they're old. We had them for a while. Norm wanted to inherit them when his mother passed away, so he asked for them out of her things. I always thought they were pretty weird. I wasn't crazy about them, but he had them for a while, and then we gave them to my brother. We trade things with my brother. So he recently, of course, is giving us all kinds of things back again. So I decided to bring them back here and thought I might as well use them with this crazy plant stand. So I just added my silly brass artsy looking sphere. S-P-H-E-R-E. Yep. I thrifted that. I could not believe it. That was only, $2.99, $3.99 at the Goodwill a couple years ago. I was really shocked. I thought it looked vintage to me, but I didn't know what to put out here. I really struggled this year, I have to tell you. I could have chosen a simple black dresser scarf that I do have up in my bedroom that I'm using. It's just plain shiny black, but I wanted to get back to this fancy long. It's very long on both sides. I will go get the paper and read to you, and in the meantime I must put out this crazy it's a wood smelling incense. Norm does like it. Just a pine scent. So we purchased this. Actually, it's a shawl in an antique shop. I thought it would be fun, like I said, to use for a dresser scarf. It's an official prop. Here's the certificate of authenticity. Got a penciled in number on it. The following item was used during the production of the above movie. Anne Hathaway was in a movie called Ella Enchanted, and I've never seen it. I really should try to see it, but I suppose I have to buy the movie, and I don't even know what year that was either, so that is a little copy somebody made of a photograph. Funny, it's got lines in it. Poor copy. But that must be the Edgar person. So, pretty crazy, huh? Authorized signature. I do not see a date. So I thought you might get a kick out of that. I forgot to light my candle. A lot of you may feel that this is not very Halloween, and it's not spooky either. And unfortunately, I have to have it bright enough in here to show you these things. It wouldn't work very well in the dark. So my videos for Halloween, they don't tend to be spooky. I just try to do some crazy things, Let's go look at what's on the other wall in the door. I'll try not to get in the mirror too much. It's a little difficult, but I was having fun putting some pumpkins and black cats. I do have one more black cat I was going to bring out here, but I was working on the eyes on it, and I just found 3 more cats. I just found 4 more small black cats just the other day. And I put the eyes on them. They had painted eyes, but I put those little fish eyes, crafting fish eyes. I had 2 left in a golden color. I'll go get the green cat. I mean the green-eyed cat. So I've got, oh, here's one of the new cats that I just found this week. It's a Taiwan one. He's pretty cute. This is a very grumpy owl vase that I found at the Goodwill for, I think it was $2.99, and I did show it last year. I was so surprised when I picked him up and saw that it said Occupy Japan on the bottom. This is a new pumpkin just found, and I found her last year. She's pretty crazy, huh? That was an amazing find, I thought. And these pumpkins are new on both sides. They're going to be used for Thanksgiving too. And this is a Christopher Radko pumpkin. I should have lit the votives for you. Yes, let me go do that. I'm so forgetful. I'm a senior, you know. This is one of the other kitties that came in the set of 3, only I didn't have to put eyes on this little guy because he's yawning and sleepy. Sleepy? There, that's better. Got the votives lit down here. And this one, just found this year. This is the other cat, and you can see the eyes are not glued on, they're just stuck on there. The eyes were painted in a gold, and you can see the corners are still yellow. So I'm just going to pop those eyes back off again and paint the corners black so they won't show. So it will have more realistic eyes like this one. This one didn't have as much showing, but you can see there's a little bit of green showing. This one had green eyes. So I will probably touch that up a little bit too. Yeah. So that is the shadow box for this Halloween. Our floor makes so much noise out here. Some of you may have seen that I posted this on Instagram. Some of you may not be on Instagram, but Norm and I made these wood pictures in the 1980s. Mostly around 1985. I have signed some and dated them 1985. This is all done on oak veneer. He would cut the oak background piece and pick a nice wood grain. I'm not getting a whole lot of detail there. You can see the wood grain better up there. And he'd make a frame, and he'd glue that on to this background piece that I've stained, and he would actually glue the background piece on a piece of masonite. It's oak veneer. I don't know if they call that paneling, But anyways, then he would trace a pattern that I drew on to another sheet of wood, and he would cut it all apart. These are all pieces of wood. And he would sand all the edges and give it back to me. He used a jigsaw. So then I would stain and paint with highlights the animal or bird. We were doing mostly nature and farm scenes. They were very, very popular, and we did real well selling them in a gallery and at, what do you call them, art shows, art and craft fairs. But Norm's job got to the point where he was pretty burned out. He just couldn't do any crafting things with me anymore, so I was having a lot of fun doing things like this that were simpler. He could cut that out real quick out of thick pine and give it to me. He'd put a hook on the back for me, a sawtooth hook or whatever you call that. And so I made a lot of holiday items too for our family and friends, and hand painted them. So this was at my brother's house. The little tip of the stem did get broken off, but it's in really good condition for being from the 80s. So I knew my brother wasn't going to be decorating outside, so I brought it back home, and I'm very happy to have it here. So that is our front entrance. I'm so happy that you came to our home today to see what we did for Halloween. Thank you so much for your very kind comments. I just love that you take the time to write to us. It's so very, very nice of you, and I apologize for not getting back to everyone. It's really hard for me. I try, but know that we just love hearing from you, and we really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We hope you have a very fun Halloween. Bye now.